Morning.
Can I do your room?
No.
Not now?
Sleeping.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
On assignment. I always take the stairs if they're available. Whoa. Step out the door in a different city and somebody says, "Can I clean your room now?" And I'm like, "No, please." What door? What door? Where are we? Tell you what, I could really use a shoe shine. They give shoe shines here Tuesday through Friday. But I need one now. I'll give you a little hint. It's pretty fancy. And the first concert that people paid to see by the Beatles was in this building on February 11th, 1964. And John Lennon wrote the set list on the stationery here at the hotel. Anybody know yet? Pretty fancy. And I'll give you a hint. It snowed more here this month than in Boston so far this year. Finally, out the door, outside. That's what this is all about, going out the door no matter where, no matter what the weather. And it's drippy. It's pretty drippy. Temperature started off in the 30s here. Figure out where I am yet. And it's going up to 50 today with showers. And there's more snow on the ground here than there is in my backyard in Weymouth. Yeah, I'm on assignment, professionally and socially. A lot of things going on here at the Omni in Washington, D.C., where that grass right there yesterday was totally covered in snow. So the snow is melting here, but guess what? It's going to snow again within 24 hours. This show here on YouTube is more than just a weather forecast. It's really a weatherman, his pets, his life, his journeys, and I go all really around the world covering the weather and other things. So that's what we're doing, covering the weather and other things. And I'm rather breathless because there's so much going on. Let's start with the weather aspect. What I'm seeing before my eyes over the next couple of weeks is rather startling. Where to start? The map this evening of Canada and the United States. There is a dam, weather-wise, holding back Arctic cold air from the North Pole all the way down to the Gulf of Mexico. That is the weather front that is entering the northeast and eastern United States right now. And behind it, a 1050 millibar high pressure system that is pure Arctic cold, fresh delivery from the North Pole into Western Canada in the last 36 hours, and it's spreading faster south than east. So on the East Coast, we are getting cold slower than down on the coast of Texas. It's high amplitude flow. And there are multiple waves of low pressure, one going across Canada, another going north of Bermuda. There's a strong storm missing between Nantucket and Bermuda today that hardly any of us are talking about because there's so much else to talk about. And then the low that's coming out of the southeastern United States and buzzing right across New England tomorrow, like a buzz saw. And there is tropical moisture available along the Gulf Stream over the Atlantic Ocean. And there is pure Arctic air spilling in on the north and west side of this system. First, it comes through Washington, D.C. Here, tomorrow, midday and afternoon, we're going to have snow with a temperature in the 20s. In Boston and Cape Cod, we're going to have snow or rain and temperatures in the 30s, 40s today. And we're going to stick with the Canadian. Thank you, Andrew Fazio, I'm sorry if I didn't get your name right, for the compliment. I chose a line and I stuck to it. In a skier's analogy, sometimes, you pick a line that looks kind of scary, but you stick with it because you're committed. And that's what we did with the Canadian model from pretty much 10 days ago when all the other guidance said no storm this weekend. The Canadians said yes. And here's the now 15-day meteogram from weather.us. You can check out all the models. And again, today we're going to choose the GEM. That's the Canadian. And it shows the rain showers today and temperatures in the 40s in Shrewsbury, Massachusetts. I choose this because it's representative often of the weather in central and southern New England. It's often right at the rain snow line. And today it's rain, the low 40s, and it becomes windy from the south. Then the cold front comes through. But tomorrow, now, incidentally, the ground is cold and it's raining today, and there'll be some icy spots, even with the temperature above 40, because the ground is so cold in the shade on the north side of your house. If there's cement there, it could be ice this afternoon. And tomorrow morning, the temperature does get down to freezing. We're going to have brief radiational cooling tonight between low pressure systems, quite frosty and icy tomorrow morning. But then the temperature jumps up close to 40 before precipitation begins again, and it's a wall of moisture, rain, snow, precipitation coming at New England tomorrow afternoon. Tomorrow night, it all happens in less than 12 hours. That's gone. It's windy. And then here comes the Arctic plunge on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Temperature probably bottoms out somewhere near 0 on Thursday, with sunshine returning and clouds mixed, and very windy Monday into Tuesday, less windy Wednesday. And then Thursday, here comes another system. And it looks like Friday into Saturday, somewhere in that time period, another system is going to go off south of New England with mostly snow for southern New England. And then it tries to warm up a little next weekend, but it's going to reload. The pattern is going to reload. I've got a lot of security around here. That's a canine, and security's probably wondering what I'm doing. I'm just yelling the weather forecast for not New England, not the United States, not Canada. Going to do the weather forecast for all of the northwestern hemisphere. I'm a big picture kind of guy. All your local snowfall amounts and rainfall and timing, all that you can get from the National Weather Service and all the other people that are blogging about this. But this big picture pattern has me really breathless. Maybe I'll sit down in a rocking chair. Oh, my butt would get a little bit wet. Where are the cushions? Please bring the cushions. All right, you ready? Here we go. I'm using the Canadian model, and I'm showing this huge perspective because you have to see what's going on from the Pacific to the Gulf of Mexico to the North Atlantic to really get a grip on all the challenges we face going forward. I'm going to try and go slowly. We have first up this front today that pushes off with the showers ending. Icy tonight. Ski areas getting a couple inches of snow. And then tomorrow, there is a winter storm warning in effect just north of Washington, D.C. this morning for tomorrow night. It's a watch now and a warning tomorrow night. The storm is going to be about 1,006 millibars over South Carolina tomorrow morning, and then it's going to intensify rapidly as it goes up the coast right over Cape Cod, pretty much deepening rapidly, and it goes from 1,006 millibars to 982 millibars over Newfoundland on Monday morning. That's 24 millibars in 24 hours. That's called Bombogenesis. Yes, Bombogenesis happening in our atmosphere. Got to be careful what I'm saying around here right now. It's a weather setup, and that storm continues off to the north, and the Arctic plunge happens all the way down to North Florida. The next system coming across the deep south into Texas and Louisiana with rain, ice, and snow all the way into North Florida. That low is going to go off of the mid-Atlantic states on Wednesday night and Thursday, and it's going to be close enough to New England, in my opinion, to bring us another batch of snow in southern New England and perhaps really heavy snow, Cape Cod and the islands, because the air is so cold. And that storm is going to continue north. And look what this one does. It's going to deepen to about 929 millibars. That's almost record low pressure south of Iceland. That is now going into about next Thursday or so. And look at the other low going across southern New England. There's going to be another storm. All right, keep this going. Now you get high pressure going over the southeastern United States on next Sunday with probably kind of a warm front battle zone and a lot of fog and ice at low levels with an inversion and old cold sitting over a relatively warm air mass. Dense fog for the ages, ice fog across the southeastern United States. And then keep that going, and we're going to stop it at 240 hours, and that's January. I'm losing track. It's somewhere around the 28th or so at about 7 p.m. I'll put it in the text format what time this is exactly. And there's snow in southern New England on the boundary. Again, that would be about the third or fourth time in the next 10 days. And there's a 987 low north of Lake Superior. And behind that, now get this, this is the end of January, so this is not the current Arctic outbreak. That is the leading edge of another Arctic outbreak that's coming into North America, and it's going to plunge south with some of the coldest air I've seen in my life at upper levels of the atmosphere coming across southern Canada. And whether that plunge goes due south or towards New England makes a huge difference on whether we have a third batch of Arctic air. Now, all these Arctic outbreaks I'm talking about in the next 3 to 5 days, those are going to be more serious south and west of New England because we are on the edge with the air going south and then coming east and then coming north. We've talked about it so many times how it's much colder and snowier off to the southwest. Example, what we're looking at right here, right now. I've had my eyes closed for the last 4 minutes just visualizing these maps. Now I just opened my eyes and this is snowman snow. Look at this. This is snow that fell back on Monday, January 6th. This snow has been on the ground for almost 2 weeks. It's going to shrink a bit today, but the ground was so cold, and this is the same with New England, that the old snow doesn't really want to melt. Oh, there were other things I want to talk about the snow today. Oh, yes, the ski areas. Today is January 18th. Is that right? I'm losing track. That means the 18th day in a row with snow in New England, as it snows in our ski areas today, a few inches, and very windy. The ski areas then are going to be just very cold and windy, and most of the snow is going to be toward the coast. That's how these cold outbreaks work. You first put the snow down inland, then you work it all the way to the coast, and within a week, every zip code in New England will have snow on the ground. I'll leave the accumulations to others. It's just such a crazy pattern. What do we have here? It looks like some deer print, okay? So the deer right there, track. Sorry, people. I know animals leave tracks. So the deer would have had to go over that fence. Deer don't have a huge problem with 6 foot, or that's a little less than 6 foot fences. I would walk across the snow and show you a nice hill and a creek down there, but I only brought 1 pair of shoes. That was dumb, huh? I may have to go shoe shopping. And then yesterday at sunset, I saw some squirrels with like black fur playing around in those trees. So I talk about being breathless. There's so much going on in the world. You know, what we're covering here in Washington, D.C. may have global impacts. The weather is certainly having global impacts. And then locally, 2 of my best friends in northern Vermont, Sean and Josh, their dogs are they're in hospice. My friends have dogs in hospice, and what's more heartbreaking than that? Just leaving T-Rex at the airport with my sister yesterday was rather gut-wrenching. Steve and Mitt have each other back at the house, but behind the house yesterday, when I went away, you've been covering it, the construction or deconstruction of our cliff below my house, all the brush that was kind of holding up the hill with the root systems, that's all been taken out. Yesterday, there goes the knotweed in front of Jerry's house. That's somewhat disconcerting. So meteorologically, socially, globally, I don't even know the word, and locally, there's so much that's why I'm breathless. Here we are at 12 minutes, and I appreciate all your viewership and sticking with me here. Sometimes somebody even told me the other day that I was overhyping things. Well, I don't know. I try to be a hype-free program here, and to me, it doesn't seem like I'm overhyping. I'm just calling the play-by-play on what I see, and my decades of forecasting experience led me to believe that we're going into this pattern where it's going to snow more often than not. Just got to get through this rain snow line today. So the Enmore yesterday flying out of New England, leaving the cats and dog behind, and coming over an increasing snow and ice pack heading south into Washington, D.C. It's called high amplitude flow. And I'm sure some of the people are pretty curious. The dog's got shoes on. I need shoes. I need some more shoes. And so there's a lot of security and really nice people, believe it or not, gathered here in Washington, D.C., covering it for many reasons. Here's the Enmore from yesterday. Talk to you in 24 hours. Lord willing, as always. All right, we kicked the cats out of the luggage. We're hitting the road, kitties. Take care of the house. Watch the birds. Friday the 17th, 8:30 a.m. Ground is so cold. Even when it rains tomorrow during the day, we may have some ice in the shadowy spots. But on this Friday morning, it's just a little teaser of what's ahead for the next couple weeks, I think. Day 17 in a row, New England snow. Thank you, Jenny.
Welcome.
T-Rex, you're in good hands. See you on Tuesday. Still a little bit of snow on the side of the road. Probably on Saturday, I would guess.
It is our pleasure to welcome you to Washington, D.C., where the local time is 12:13 p.m. You may now use your cell phone. Please remain seated with your seatbelt fastened until the seatbelt sign is turned off and keep the aisle clear of carry-on items. Take a moment to check your seat back pocket for any personal items like tablets and cell phones. When you open the overhead compartments, be careful as items may move in flight. For those of you making a connection, check the monitors and the terminal.
Piles of snow over there. More snow here than there is in Boston. And ice on the Potomac. I guess everyone knows where I am now, right? Yeah.
From this side, the
Construction on the Memorial Bridge. The ice on the Potomac. Oh my goodness. Cool. What's your name?
well, my name is Ratan.
Rotan?
Ratan, R-A-T-A-N.
Ratan.
Ratan, yeah.
I'm Tim.
Tim, thank you.
From Boston.
Boston. I'm from Washington.
Yeah.
Actually from Virginia, but they say Washington.
Batsui? What's that? Where?
Now they say, I am actually living in Virginia, but they say Washington.
What's the name of the place you lived, grew up?
Arlington, Virginia.
No, but where did you grow up?
Bangladesh.
Bangladesh.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Does it snow in Bangladesh?
No, we never saw. If snow coming in Bangladesh, all people die.
Oh, jeepers
Because they
creepers.
don't have any snow remover,
Yeah.
and no snow protection, and no snow house, and they don't know how to handle the snow. So
How often does it snow this hard in Washington, D.C.?
every year, starting from November, December, January, February, March, sometimes 3 times a season, sometimes 4 times a season, sometimes none.
More ice on the Potomac than the Charles River. Sun just came out. Like, it was cloudy when we landed. Oh, this pleases me. There's the flyer. Look at all the happy people. There's the tram. Lifts are running to the peak of J. I'm writing a new blog. Last time I wrote a blog, it wasn't supposed to snow on our Friday. 17 days in a row of snow at J. Feet and powder and powder. And it's going to snow more. I'm going to call it Shed a Layer Saturday because it actually warms up on Saturday before it gets much colder on Sunday. Look at this view. Get the workers up there on the roof. It's chilly but bright and nice in the sun down here. This is just something else. It's 4:45 in Washington, D.C. on Friday, January 17th, and it's a snow-covered roof down there. What's that? The health center. And not the best view in the world, but it's nice to see the sun's still up at this hour. Even though I don't have a view toward the west or sunset, I can see it. And you know how I feel about light waves, any kind of waves, reflecting. And then you get the double dot, green dot iPhone optical phenomena that happens there, aberration. And this crane, which is in a different position now. I didn't see it move, but that would have been fun. I love the fly the flags on the cranes. Up high in the sky. I think I might have access to the roof. Maybe I'll go up there. Cool. 8 stories up. Nice little workout. You can access the roof here, but authorized personnel only. Radio frequency. Antennas may cause radio fields beyond this point that it could exceed the FCC general public exposure limit. Been there, done that. Top of the Prudential Tower. So there's the view. Out the pretty dirty window as the sun sets. And they're talking about snow and cold here too. We'll be here calling the play-by-play. And more and more and more. Till tomorrow.